Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the assignment-based contact session. My name is Ms. Tangi Ausiku, and I am your tutor for the course. Students, I would like to welcome you all to the study of assessment and evaluation. Assessment and evaluation plays a very important role and vital role in education. It is most likely that you will learn about assessment during your course as well as assessment techniques. However, the assessment and evaluation you will only be able to understand it once your career starts to kick off, once you learn to start preparing your own assessment activities as well as evaluating your own assessment activities. Students, you should be able to assess learners effectively and appropriately when you are doing assessment and evaluation. And like I said, it grows with experience as your career kicks off. That's when your perspective about the content of the subject becomes broader and you learn to understand it better. The moment you start designing your own assessments and assessment activities is the moment that you will start to develop different types of skills as well as different types of techniques, as I've mentioned before. Evaluating each assessment activity and teaching strategy is just as important as assessment. You will have to evaluate your own teaching and your own level of success in everything that you do throughout your teaching career. Students, do not hesitate to ask for help and guidance from senior teachers because asking doesn't mean you're stupid. Sharing ideas will help you to extend your pool of knowledge. Interaction with colleagues is just as important as interaction with learners. Assessment is a very creative process. Wherever you go, be on the lookout for different assessment activities, whether early in the morning while you are getting ready for school or visiting friends or going to the shops. Different activities are outside there for you to grab in order for you to make your lessons interesting. Magazines and TV programs are good sources of ideas about assessment activities. A lot of thinking goes into the effective design of assessment activities because you need to look at the type of learners that you are having. You need to consider the levels at which your learners are in order for you to develop an effective and interesting assessment activity for your learners, one that learners will enjoy with all their heart and one that they will speak about even after the assessment has been evaluated. Students, I also hope you find great pleasure and enjoyment in learning about assessment and designing your own assessment activities. So let's move on. Students, I urge you all to commit to your studies and make sure you allow enough time to go through your work. You are welcome to contact me if there are any difficulties with the content. My contact details are 081-2902-871 or 081-4426-310. Or alternatively, you can contact me via my email address, which is tajtangi@gmail.com. Students, please also note that you need to contact me between 2 and 8 o'clock in the evening, 2 the afternoon and 8 o'clock in the evening. That is the preferred time that will be best for you to contact me. You can send me email at any given point in time and I will attend to it as soon as I see it. However, if it's a telephonic conversation, do contact me once again from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 8 o'clock in the evening. I also suggested before that there should be a study group, which was done, which was quite effective. However, if you are a new student taking up the course, please contact me so that I can add you to the group. Others are using the group to their benefit. I also urge all students to consult other materials, libraries, and do not rely on the study guide alone. Use the internet, use the search engine Google. You will be surprised at how much information you can pick up from the library or other sources. Students, sometimes when questions have been or an assignment has been set out for you, you struggle with the different verbs outlined by Bloom's taxonomy. I also pick it up that it's not only in the assignment where you have problems with understanding what the verb wants you to do or what the verb wants you to explain. However, also in the examination, you struggle a little bit with these different components. Students, there are different levels and different verbs that have been outlined by Bloom. However, the ones that I've picked out are the ones that I find trouble, that I've seen students struggle with. If you're asked to define, you need to give a precise, brief meaning of something. If you're asked to compare, you have to indicate similarities and differences, and please indicate clearly. Usually it's much better if you do it in a tabular form, because if you write it in a prose form, it becomes a problem, because then I need to go and search, or sometimes then I need to go and guess, where does this belong? Please differentiate and show similarities clearly. Tabular form, I advise. When you're asked to describe, provide a detailed feature of an issue or stages of a process in a logical sequence. To determine means you need to use the information given to work out an answer. To determine is you need to apply. To discuss, you give a clear description on, and then you argue about the features, pointing out the positives and the negatives. You are discussing certain issue, and when you are explaining, you are describing something and indicating the relationship between different things, making clear on how and why these features are there. So these are the different verbs that I've realized students struggle in. Moving on, assignment 2018. The assignment consists of 120 marks. Please stick to the due date stipulated in the assignment submission. Students, I also urge you to make sure that you answer the correct assignment to avoid any inconvenience. At times you find yourself in 2018, however, the assignment that you are submitting is the assignment for 2017. So I will not mark it and you get an automatic 0 because it's a new year. So make sure that the assignment that you are doing is appropriate for it's the correct one for the appropriate year to avoid any inconvenience. Students, it's also very important that you type your assignment. If you cannot type it, please write legible and neat. I struggle so much to read your handwritings. Not all of us have got beautiful handwritings. However, if you are writing your assignment, take a question paper and then you number your questions accordingly as per question paper, so that I know this is the next thing that's following, because it doesn't flow, it's written, it's scratched on. So please just write legible and neatly, but I urge you all to please try and type. If you can type it, and then also use the correct font, which is 12, then you use Roman times. But if you are writing, it's also acceptable, but just do it neatly. Please also, when you are writing your assignment, make sure that you number the assignment pages, because then you would find it's not question 1, then all of a sudden it's question 8, then it's question 5. It confuses me, the marker, because then I become frustrated and I just start marking and I give you wrong marks, only to realize after I've marked 3 questions that the page numbers have actually been arranged wrongly. So please make sure that you arrange your assignment in a chronological order that flows, or you number it so that I know that this is the next page. Please, students, I urge you all. Now, I've realized that students do not use the APA referencing style, which is the referencing style that most universities across the countries use across the board. Now, the APA referencing style is the American Psychological Association style. The style lists only the sources that you refer to in your writing. The purpose of the list is to allow your sources to be found when I am reading. So if you have, for example, referenced Ms. Ausiku's book and you list it at the back, it's easy for me to go look for that book, the page, rather than just saying, mentioning a name and I don't know. There are many Magdalena Andreases in this world. So you need to be very specific. And then another thing, your reference and your bibliography are two different things. Your reference lists the sources that are to be found within your writing, and your bibliography refers to the sources that you have used within your text. So please be careful between the two, that you do not confuse the two. However, please look into APA referencing style and also look at what the bibliography is so that you can get the difference and you do not make small mistakes. Your assignment has instructions which some of you sometimes omit to read. The instructions that are on your assignments are as follows. Answer all the questions. Number, once again, your work correctly. The number should correlate with the numbers in the questions. Neat and tidy work is required. I've mentioned it before. When you have finished the assignment, make sure that all your answer sheets have been neatly and securely attached together, and remember to use the same headings in your assignment as those in the question paper or the instructions sheet. Your assignment should look as follows. It should have a cover page by Iol. Then you should have a table of content. Then it should have your introduction, assignment content, which is your body where you discuss and answer the questions. You have your conclusion, and immediately after your conclusion, you have your referencing. Please, student, do not forget to include your reference. Plagiarism plays a very important role. You guys are busy plagiarizing your work. You basically copy and paste what is in the study guide. And that is not the purpose of the assignment. Assignments are individual work, and group activities are not welcomed. You should do your assignments explicitly alone, and if someone asks you for help, you just guide. Copying from other students or from other sources, for instance your study guide, as I've mentioned, prescribed material, or directly from the internet, is not allowed. Only brief quotations are allowed, and then only if it's indicated that you can directly copy. But even if you are copying directly from the study guide, please make sure that you copy correctly by formulating the existing text into your own words to explain what you have read. It is not acceptable to retype existing text and just acknowledge the source in a footnote or in a bibliography. You should be able to relate to the idea or the concept without repeating the original information of the author or the latter. The aim of the assignment is not the reproduction of existing material, but to ascertain whether you have the ability to integrate existing text into your own interpretation, critique the text, and offer a creative solution to the existing problems. Students, also be warned that students who submit copied text will obtain a 0 for the assignment, and disciplinary steps will be taken by Iol. It is also unacceptable to do someone else's work or lend your work to them or to make your work available to them to copy. Be careful and do not make your work available to anyone. Your assignment for 2018, it consists of Unit 1, Unit 3, Unit 5, and Unit 8. Please go through these units, understand the questions, and then attempt to answer. Should you by any way be stuck, I urge you to contact me as soon as possible before you make a mistake, before you copy exactly what is in the study guide. Last but not least, my famous quote, last but not least, success is the sum of small efforts. When you try small by small, every day, repeatedly, day in, day out. Students, do not be afraid to fail, but be afraid not to try. Every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. So try to give your assignment your 100% best, and you will reap what you will sow.